Hey everybody, I'm Tim, and it's time to celebrate the good times. You're watching Cigars Daily. Get more out of this in all our videos when you join the community on Cigars Daily Plus, and I'm going to go through some personal selections for a very special occasion in this video. But during the video, I'm actually jamming on Padron's Damaso, because damn, it's a Connecticut with enough presence to keep me interested. I'm absolutely loving this, but I want to dive into some stuff that I am very much looking forward to for a very big occasion. So I make a lot of videos to talk about special occasion cigars. To me, there's no better way to commemorate an amazing moment than with the perfectly blended, amazing balanced cigar with complexity and all the stuff that we love about really good cigars. And for the most part, when I make lists for you guys, I'm trying to make lists with cigars that are the most relevant to people who enjoy these things. And so in the world of special occasion cigars, I'll bring you guys what people are typically the most excited about, what I'm hearing in conversations, seeing people post online, and what the cigar makers are really making for those special occasions. But today's video is just a little bit different because I've got a huge special occasion coming up. In the next few days, my daughter is going to be giving birth to my first grandchild. And that may seem weird to you, and you know what? It is. I'm 39 years old. I'm not really old enough to be a grandpa, but you know what? When in Rome. And so I have sat down and thought through what cigars am I going to be lighting up for this huge moment in my life and my daughter's life to celebrate the birth of my first granddaughter, who, by the way, is not even born, but already completely adorable. And I just can't wait to see her face and squishy cheeks. As a guy who was never really a baby guy, I'm like, my son was born, and then I wept like a little girl, and now I love babies, and so it's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. But certainly for me, this is a big issue. I work here at the Cigars Daily HQ. I get to smoke cigars all day long, so how in the world do I pick out some cigars just to make this occasion that much more special to me? And how many? For a lot of people, I know that like 1 or 2 cigars for a special moment would be like just exactly the right thing. You have a cigar at your wedding, you know, you buy that new house and you light up a cigar on the porch to kind of break the thing in. But I really do smoke cigars for a living, so I have picked 8 different special occasion cigars, some mild ones for my mornings and some bold ones for my evenings, that over the course of a few days to a week, I am going to be lighting up and thanking the good Lord that my baby grandchild is in the world and that I get to enjoy not doing the raising, but doing the grandparenting and the spoiling for the most part. Because at this point in my life, I'm old enough to at least appreciate the difference between those two things. And so I want to dive in right now, but first I got to ask you, what was the last huge thing that you celebrated, that you were so excited about, and what did you light up to commemorate that time? What, did you choose to make that moment just that much more special in your mind? And with no further ado, let's jump right in. So I've been thinking about this obviously for a while, and the first cigar, I'm actually going to tell you about 2 of my 8 cigars up front because they go together very well, and they come from one of my favorite people in the cigar industry, and that is Nick Melillo from Foundation Cigars. Last year at the PCA trade show, he announced that he was going to be putting out limited edition Charter Oak cigars. This one called the Pegnataro, and then another one, a Maduro wrapper, as opposed to the Connecticut, called the Pascale. These 2 cigars named after his 2 grandfathers who were both huge cigar smokers. And I talked about this with him at the PCA trade show and told him at that time, this was a series that I was very excited to have out when my first grandchild was born. And so these are 2 that I put into my lineup. Again, one like a more Connecticut one that I can light up in the morning, and the other one a Maduro that I can light up in the evening. As my daughter's getting ready to go through a lot of sleepless nights, waking up and feeding a baby and changing diapers, I'm going to be lighting up the Pascale and Pegnataro and hitting the sack early, probably around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Now I'm going to take you through a few more mild blends before I take you through some bolder blends in my personal picks here. And the first one is a pairing blend that I'm actually really excited about, especially if you've seen the pairing videos I did with Aaron Michaelis from Flint Knoll Wines and his special release, the Macanudo Flint Knoll Reserve, a Connecticut cigar with a broadleaf binder underneath, very fascinating, that was aged in French oak barrels, but it gives the cigar a really nice, very refined flavor with some very delicate notes that if you sit down and give it the focus and attention, has a wealth of flavor to dive into and is a perfect pairing cigar for a good glass of wine. And as a guy who doesn't drink a tremendous amount anymore, I find that I'm very much looking forward to lighting up a Flint Knoll with a glass of wine and just imagining the future days where my granddaughter is going to repay my daughter for all of those sleepless nights when she was a teenager and kept my wife and I up worried as hell. And of course, this wouldn't be a personal celebration list for me if I didn't include my namesake cigar, the American Viking Filthy Viking. This is the blend that I put together just for my palate. A Habano wrapper leaf with Honduran binders and fillers. A very mild to medium strength cigar, very smooth and creamy. Something that I love because it has this very unique, creamy, buttery note in it. If you've never smoked it before, this is really one of very few cigars that I've ever gotten this buttery note out of. I absolutely love the blend. It's one that I want to smoke as I ponder those moments my daughter's going to have with her first child. You know, you have your first child, everything's a damn emergency and you're so worried about them and anxious all the time, as opposed to your second and third child where they light on fire and you're like, they'll probably be fine. Don't worry about it too much. They tend to put themselves out. That first child always seems to be an emergency, so it'll be a good time for me to kick back, light up a Filthy Viking and tell my daughter everything's going to be okay. Now, again, a special occasion for me has got to be celebrated with certain cigar makers, American Viking for me being one of them, and another one that is a must-have for me personally is Placencia. And fortunately, they have just released the Placencia Almafuerte Natural in the Robusto size, which, as it's colder outside right now, is great to have a Robusto. But this blend comes with 10-year aged leaf in it. Something that fascinates me so much. It also makes the Placencia Almafuerte one of the highest ratings I've ever given to a cigar. I say this all the time. I would have these here at the Cigar HQ even if no one else cared about them. It's just a cigar that I absolutely love. And then I think about that 10-year aged cigar and the first 10 years of my granddaughter's life when my daughter really has a chance to just mess that kid up, because that's what we all do as parents. We just mess our kids up and sit there at night in our beds alone or with our spouse thinking have I destroyed my child's life? They're going to need counseling forever because of me. And the truth is, yes, they are. And you might as well just buckle in for the ride. In my recent videos, I've also talked about my growing love for really bold cigars. And so I'm going to move into some bolder cigars now. If you like the stronger stuff, then these are ones you might appreciate. And the first one is, I think, an underrated cigar, especially for special occasions, and that's Oliva's Master Blends 3. It's a cigar that's not new in any way, shape, or form, but it comes with this really nice, very rugged broadleaf wrapper. This is a blend that to me gives this really nice, very present complexity, exactly what I expect from a bold blend, with some nice leather, a little bit of cinnamon in there, and a very well-balanced sweetness. Something that doesn't give me exactly what I get from every other cigar. And if you watch a lot of my videos, I'm always looking for that. I feel like a lot of cigars are very unique, but to me, Master Blends is one of those that just hits right on the spot. Power, strength, hits in the back of the throat with a little bit of spice, some black pepper, and a world of flavor notes to sink my teeth into. And for me, Oliva is also, like a lot of cigar families, about legacy. And that's what this time is for me too. Building a legacy with my family. I mean, outside of spending time in the community of Cigars Daily, which has been such a huge privilege of my life, there's no greater privilege than growing my family and enjoying more and more love to go around. And for me, of course, a specialized cigar experience will come with a specialized cigar. So one that I will be lighting up is a Cactus Wren from Blackbird. Again, Mexican San Andreas wrapper on this cigar. Fillers, Dominican, binder and fillers. There's a Dominican Olor in there. There's a Corojo, a Criollo 98. There's a lot of good stuff going on in this cigar, and very peculiar because I'm one of these guys that's like, I like Nicaraguan tobacco. Give me the Nicaraguan stuff. I often find myself seeking that stuff out, but working with Jonas Santana over at Blackbird to get this blend crafted was a cool experience because he came up with a flavor profile that was exactly what I was looking for. Something strong and bold that's a palate pleaser, and it's now beloved by a lot of people. And especially because this is a short one that he did just for me, it feels like the perfect time to light that up and celebrate another thing that's just for me. It's that time that I get with my granddaughter when she comes over and hangs out, and then I get to give her back to her mom at the end of the day. That, I'm told, is the best part of being a grandparent. Very much looking forward to that. And the last one in my bold lineup and in the total lineup here of my special occasion cigars is another commemorative one, and that's Drew Estate's Undercrown 10 Year. This cigar right here has got some really nice strength and depth to it. Being that the Undercrown line already had a Maduro in it, and they did a Maduro in the 10 year, they did a great job of making a very different cigar with, I think, much more power in it to commemorate 10 years of love for the Undercrown series. This is something that's been really cool to see, especially for cigar makers like Drew Estate, who are getting a better and better and better foothold in the cigar world. They're making more and more intricate blends that are captivating the world of consumers who, by the way, you guys are more discerning than you've ever been about what's in a cigar and what's good in a cigar, and it creates this demand on cigar makers to make better and better blends, and I think that's what's happened here with the Undercrown 10 year. I think it's significantly better than the other ones in the series. And for me, I think that celebrating 10 years of Undercrown for Drew Estate is in many ways about looking forward as well to what's coming for Undercrown and for Drew Estate. And for me also, this is a time in my life when I'm looking forward to. I'm probably not just going to have one grandkid, I hope. I've got 3 kids, dang it. They should be able to make some more human beings at some point. But right now, what I know is that this is the time that I get to just fill my heart with gratitude and celebrate one of the best things that can happen in your life. You guys, we all have different hopes and dreams, and for me, a great big family with a huge legacy is something I've thought about since I was a little kid. Being a husband, being a dad are such tremendous privileges for me, and now getting to be a granddad is a whole new adventure that I cannot wait to crack into. These are the cigars that I'm going to be celebrating with. And so I'll ask you again, what was the last thing you celebrated, or the next thing you're looking forward to celebrating, and what are you going to be lighting up for that? I love this community that Cigars Daily has become. When I get to meet people who visit the Cigars Daily HQ or chat with you guys in the comments, it is such a huge privilege for me. So thank you for celebrating this with me and for letting me be a part of your cigar journey. And again, check this out on the community on Cigars Daily Plus. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Tim signing off for Cigars Daily, and I will see you in the comments.